allegiance to the flag of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I've got a new one. My own memory.
Roll call, please, Molly.
Trustee Strauss.
Here.
Trustee Dorigo.
Here.
Trustee Fulmer. Here. Trustee Dima. Here. Mayor Jarvis.
Here. Public concerns. Get the computer running. We don't have the 9902. If anybody wants to, they can call my cell at 315-778-9098. Or text. Randy.
Steve, yeah. Just had some questions I was wondering about, if, you know, they're talking about sending, or trying to get sewage through Otter Street. You know, they're talking about that.
The
Okay.
town?
Yeah, yeah,
Okay.
yeah, they're talking about that, and, what I wanted to know is, what's the situation on like if, let's say that goes through, is that sewage gonna be treated in this plant down here?
No.
How's our capacity, you know, I mean, I'm just wondering about the capacity of this plant down here and adding all these different sewages. I'm wondering, are we gonna be okay, or are you gonna have to do upgrades down there?
The town is gonna be sending it, I believe, to Orleans, not to the
That's
village.
my understanding. So they aren't gonna send it down here?
No,
Even Otter Street,
no,
that's gonna go to Orleans?
yes,
Okay, so that'll be,
has nothing to do with the village.
okay, no, that's what, I just wanted to know what your thoughts and how you knew that would work. And, you probably talked about this a million times. What's the situation on our two water towers? I mean, the one behind the church, Dr. Horn Church, is that not work, is that not?
It's empty,
It is, right? So
Yes.
we need a whole new tower there,
yes.
and that's what, $1 million? Plus 800,000 or
No,
whatever?
Over $1 million.
Yeah.
Closer to 2 million.
1.5.
Yeah, no, 1.5 to 2.
Yeah.
The village just received from New York State through Water Infrastructure Improvement Association of $3 million. But with the whole project for the village water system, Bernie Carr has developed a plan that
Yeah.
is approximately 9 million.
Yeah, so the water project is 11.5 million.
Okay,
The grant's about 25%. They received the max grant they could receive through this program, the WIA Infrastructure
Right.
Improvement Act.
Yeah. Now what about, does this tower, the other newer tower need to be relined? Is that, I heard that, I'm just trying to clarify where everything is. And,
that needs work too, yes.
right, so, you're gonna have to get, you gotta have one of them working before, or, you know, before you do the other one, obviously, or.
Well, that one is working, I believe the plan is to get the one downtown.
Get the new tower up,
Get the new tower up and then work on this one.
and then do your maintenance work to this one, right?
Yes,
Correct.
The tower in town has been empty for 7 years,
Yeah.
so it's time.
Oh, yeah.
that tower was erected in what, 67?
60s,
Yeah.
it's,
Well, I mean, I think I know the answer to this question. Like, in the village, for your septic systems, if you got
The sewer
I mean, for your sub pump stations, if you got a station in your cellar, that water, when it comes out, is that supposed to go into the storm drain, not in the sewer, right? Because you don't wanna give it extra capacity going down to your sewage plant.
Your water drainage in your cellar should go to,
It should go into the storm drain, right?
yes,
Right.
I mean, that's how you should, or that's what you want it
yes.
to go, right?
ideally,
Yeah,
if it's available, that's the
Yeah,
difficult part. There's areas where there isn't storm sewer
Yeah.
available in the village.
yeah, because that's something I'll talk to the town about, but like, running the sewer up Otter Street, you know, we have no storm station there, or system, you know, to go, like, to drain into Otter Creek or wherever.
Yep.
And, people are gonna have to be thinking about that too, you know, because they're not gonna want it going into the sewage, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Well, there's a lot of different things to think about that I don't know if everybody's thinking about them up in the town, but they need to. And I'll definitely address them up there about it too. I just wanted to verify some of those things. I don't know, let me just look here a minute if I have any other questions. Yeah, the wastewater, capacities, they're calculated, what, tons per day? Does anybody know, how that works?
No, it's millions.
There's hydraulic
Yeah.
capacity,
Yeah,
then there's some organic loadings too.
yeah,
Yep.
yeah. I just wondered how that range, or how that works, so.
Well, we do have also a grant out there for we're looking for 12 million for the wastewater treatment plant, and hoping we get,
For the village plant down here?
yes,
Yeah.
that we get,
Yeah.
more, at least 3
Probably-
million, if not more,
Probably
for
needs
that.
some upgrades down there, I mean, time goes by.
Yeah.
It's
Yes.
due, that was built it started in 74, correct?
Yeah, it's about 50 years old now.
Yeah.
Yes, they both
Okay.
need work.
Yeah. Okay, thanks a lot, appreciate it.
Anybody else?
I didn't have anything, but I'm gonna go off of what he just said. I know the dollar figure you just gave for the sewer treatment plant to upgrade that. If the town extends the Orleans system down through Otter Street, as was just said, is being planned now, they're putting the feelers out there. Wouldn't it make more sense for the village to hook into that system, because that sewer treatment plant in Orleans is,
No, because I wanna interrupt you, because then you would have to take the whole village and reconfigure it to have everything pumped from the low level back up here to where it would hook on Route 12 to send it out to them. You would have pumping stations all over the village.
there's pumping stations all, you know, I mean, that's how it gets there, that's,
Most of it's gravity. There's only 2 pump stations, one on the other side of the arch and one at King's. Everything else is all gravity drained to the sewer plant.
To the village sewer plant.
Yes,
So it all goes downhill, you're saying?
Yeah.
Everything gravity down.
and everything that's going up Route 12 is being force pumped, yeah.
right.
So you would have to rebuild the village with the gravity and pump everything that way.
Has it been looked at how much the pumps and that stuff would be? I mean, because you're talking $11 million. I mean, that's a major
Yeah,
anything.
it's,
Have we looked
Yeah,
at-
we
I was
did
gonna
an
say-
evaluation, I don't have it off the top of my head, but we did look at that as a comparison too. Go in the opposite direction.
I'd love to see the comparison.
anybody else? Correspondence. Well, there was correspondence you just received from Fort Drum, but this basically is about more of a type of a business, not a government. You want door prizes, giveaways.
Should that go to the Chamber of Commerce? It sounds more like a chamber thing.
It could be a chamber thing,
I
we can
reached
pass
out,
it to them.
they've gone to a lot of the businesses here to see if they're interested. He told me he reached out, like, to our golf course, and they just referred him to me. They called a lot of places downtown, so I'm assuming they did, but I'll email it to her in the morning and see if they're interested also.
Nope, that was the only correspondence. Motion to approve the minutes, April 12th, 2022, public hearings and regular meetings.
Now I'll make a motion to approve April 12th public hearings and regular meeting.
I'll second.
Motion by trustee DeRigo, second by trustee Fulmer. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion to pay the bills, abstracts number 23 and number 24 is presented.
I'll make a motion to pay abstracts 23 and 24 as presented.
I'll second it.
Motion by trustee Fulmer, second by trustee Stroud, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Trustee reports. Trustee Fulmer.
Okay, the first thing I need to start with is that we only have 2 lifeguards. So everybody can go home and find anybody that's over 15, and please ask them if they'd be interested in being a lifeguard. They have to take 2 courses, and we're paying starting $15.25 an hour. We had 3, one of them is not coming back because she's now living in Potsdam, which is, you know, fine, but, I have a concern that I don't know how we're gonna be able to open the beach if we only have 2 lifeguards.
And we need,
Well, it depends. I
5
know
would be good.
we need,
4.
5 would be great, 4 would be like pushing it to get, I know last year they had 4, correct? And we were still limited,
Yes.
like, one of the ones that I have coming back can't work Tuesdays and Saturdays, you know, so we have, I don't think you can, the only time you can only have 1, if I remember correctly, from 2 years ago when I had, like, the beaches, is only early in the morning. I mean, the health department's really strict about it. There's an overlap, there's one starts in the morning, there's a middle shift, and then one comes in and works till close, and there's always pretty much 2. I don't know what we're gonna be able to do if we only end up with 2 lifeguards. So, if we could just put that out there, and I think tomorrow I'm gonna call the high school and see if they can make some kind of announcement. We haven't done that yet, right, Molly?
No.
I haven't. I thought we were gonna have enough that were coming back to make this work, but they're not. Then, the sidewalk, I don't know if everybody's driven around, but the sidewalks along the park are coming together and look nice all the way down to the beach. And the, excuse me, the ramp went back into the dive park.
Yes.
You stoned it, and the only thing that has to be done now is the seating, raking and seating.
Rake and seed and the storm drain I was gonna put in the park.
But that's separate from the dive park. So,
Well,
dive,
it's the parking.
right
area.
before, but it's
Yeah.
just 2 separate
Yep.
things. And that's all I have right now. The plea is really lifeguards. Thank you.
The golf course is open for the year. Today was the first day they were able to get carts out on the course. But the weather, especially this week, is gonna be extremely cooperative, which is very nice. And overall, it's in great shape right now. The guys are doing a great job.
Cool.
We're just waiting for the weather to get nice and warm out here so we can open up the dock, get some business. Everything's good.
And Jared talked with Geronimo
Yeah.
today, and
Yeah, 'cause we discussed that before.
the beginning is gonna be
Yeah. Couple
2 weeks
Yeah.
before Memorial Day. We
At
get that
the other
in.
meeting, they got twisted around and it was done.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah, we're good.
Cindy.
See,
You said you'd take care of it.
You'll have to remind me.
Okay.
What you have.
Playground.
Playground. Well, we'll get to that with the streetscape. The playground, park, everything's, we're getting there.
Yep.
We'll do that in review projects. Jared,
So,
it's been a busy week,
it's been hectic, 2 weeks.
2 weeks.
We put in a new water shut off in behind the wall that the village owns at Shabsy's parking lot. Years ago, he put a new copper line in, but because the footer for the wall was sitting on a good chunk of galvanized pipe, when we got into that, he got rid of hold of Blaine, we could get it out from underneath the wall and replace that 10 foot of galvanized line that was leaking like crazy. So we got that all straightened out. As Judy said, we've got the dive park close to getting wrapped up. Hopefully Thursday or Friday, we're gonna start setting the ready block and behind the road up on Sisson Street.
Ready block, that, I couldn't think of what it was called, ready
We
block.
have started the garbage route, so that's a big sign of summer, is to get the boat out on the river. Picking up brush, the same old. We're gonna probably get meters up, probably starting tomorrow. We'll probably be doing that, get them started. So, we had, an issue with power down to the dock where the Wi-Fi wouldn't hook. Don't know exactly what it was, but I think it was just some dirty connections in the breaker boxes. Had an electrician come in, take a look at that.
Customs get the iPad in.
iPad is in, so,
Painting lines.
painting lines, I wanna get lines done before it gets too hot, so that's, like I said, the next couple weeks are gonna be real busy.
Are you leaving the blue barrels out for another snowstorm?
I was just gonna say something about that.
If I can get more than 3 guys,
I know, we
In a
need
day.
DPW help too, I know.
so, and I do, we've got,
You guys have been really busy.
I lost Dan because he drives sludge truck, so I lost him down a guy because he's driving sludge. Of course, Tim's up to the golf course, and of course, we had Bruce to replace Jeff, so that left me 3 guys.
You got any applications?
So we've got the people in line, we're all set, so
Okay.
we're gonna get better.
Oh, that's these for June 1.
Yes. That's it.
Lee?
Well, the next 3 weeks are gonna be pretty busy for the planning board and the ZBA. The ZBA is gonna be meeting in 2 weeks, down on the far end of Bethune, next to Hutchinson's. There's a lot line adjustment being proposed. It's gonna need a variance between the 2 houses, same owners between them. I haven't got the actual app from Fay White McGivern yet. The planning board is gonna be meeting on June the 1st. We have a subdivision up on the end of Avery Street, for the board to consider. And the other one, the planning board is gonna be looking at, is a site plan review for Alex Bay Juice Company. It's a change of use there, so it needs to go before the planning board, and seeing how it's in 500 feet of a state road, it has to go to the county. They wanted to get open before the holidays, and if he had followed up when I had asked them to, they'd be open, so they're gonna have to wait until June 2nd. I'm assuming probably the planning board will approve it. And maybe to settle any rumors with your new owners down there, the Admiral Inn, Skiffs, and Coffee Pot or whatever, they do not need anything from the zoning office, and Jason Crump is handling anything they need as far as COs. They're good to go from what Jason has told me with those 3 businesses, with that. So, I realize how rumors get started in the village here, but, those 3 businesses are, okay with us and the zoning in the office, and Jason is, I've seen 2 of the COs already he's issued. The last item, comp plan, working on the sign. Hopefully, when we be meeting next week, we'll have our final draft, and what the comp plan committee would like to do, we'd like to have a workshop with the trustees to go through this before we schedule a public hearing, so that you folks aren't caught off guard either. Because undoubtedly, there's already controversy floating around, and people haven't even seen what's being proposed. So I think this will get the trustees on board with what we would like to do, and then, we can set, once you look at it, we can set the public hearing. And, you have to remember also, we need to change the local law to switch signs over to the planning board. That's gonna be a local law change, out of section 120 into 150. That's all I have, unless there's some questions.
Good luck on Thursday,
Thank you.
having knee surgery. Thank you. Police report. Police department had 18 complaints, 0 arrests, 1 V&T tickets issued, 2 warnings, 0 parking tickets issued, 5 warnings, and 18 building checks. Submitted by Officer in Charge Joshua David. We don't have anybody here from South State, of course. We'll go right to old business. Ready and streetscape projects. We had a meeting this morning with, for the streetscape. Things are wrapping up pretty good at the park, out front. They have, the tracks in place at the pavilion for the curtains, which will have windows in them. That's gonna be, I believe, a tan color. The playground equipment wasn't due until the mid-June, but it's gonna be before Memorial Day. It'll be delivered for the playground on Thompson. The sidewalks and the fence company's gonna be here in 2 weeks. You put a drain in the middle so that the water is going, and that's moving along pretty good. They started setting up for Holland Street boat launch. To start tearing out, we have to get with River Edge to talk about leaving some equipment on the property. They're gonna wait until after Labor Day to do the Crossman Street boat launch. We're not tearing them up at the same time. We'll wait until after Labor Day, things start to settle down. Holland Street will be completed, they have a place to go, and do the other one. Talked with Gregor about, or we text back and forth, about the manufacturer and color for the composite for the decking. So we wanna keep all of the docks the same color. It's just.
So was the color selected today?
Pardon me?
Was the color selected today for the dock?
It's a sand color, like the picture, did I send you the picture?
Yes.
Do you know the company?
Maddie Group?
Yes. Yep, so we basically said, yeah, that's a really good color.
Okay. So for the Ready project, the color selection will happen during the submittal process. So when they submit on the type of dock they plan on using, they will ask for the color selection for the decking at the same time. So I'll just make sure prior to that approval that it matches what was selected already.
It's like a tan color.
I've seen it.
It's one of the widely used colors. It just, if you go dark, being in the sun, it's gonna fade, weird, but being light, if it fades a little bit, it's not gonna really show.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it makes sense.
We have, what is it, we did a resolution for increasing the monies. That's due, what, the 18th, Molly? And then we do
The
an
estoppel
estoppel.
goes in the 18th. The 17th is the last day. For the other, the 18th, the estoppel will go in both papers one time. The estoppel notice.
Yeah, I had on my notes that the earliest the board could make any action was June 1st.
Mm-hmm.
So just an update on the 2 contracts for the Ready project. In the contracts, there was a timeline that they had to hold their contracts for, and it's a 60-day window. So given the timeline for the supplemental bond resolution, we had to request an extra approximately 10 days that they would hold their bids. And both contractors have responded that they'll hold their bids until June 3rd. And I have the letters for the village's file from both contractors. And something I wanted to bring up tonight, I'm not sure if it'll take a special meeting So the board can award those contracts, or if it could actually be authorized tonight contingent on the supplemental bond resolution process being completed by June 1st. And I would rely on Jim as to which option they could proceed with,
We can make the adoption contingent upon it.
contingent upon it. Just looking at ways maybe to save a special board meeting,
Yeah.
unless you wanna meet, so that's from SNL, that's the, electrical, and that's from DC Builders.
So you're saying we should approve this today contingent upon the bond?
So those are just for the extension.
Okay.
So they've extended their bids an extra approximately 10 days to June 3rd. The board action, and Jim could explain it probably better, but was instead of having a special meeting that week to award the contracts, the board may want to consider doing that tonight contingent on the process being completed by, I think it's June 1st.
You have that authority if you choose, it's in your discretion.
So,
We need a motion
we
that,
could make a motion to approve the bids for the Ready Commission pending the outcome of the, supplemental, correct? And award the contract for electrical to SNL Electric and the building system to DC Builders.
Yeah, the general contract,
General
BTC
contract.
Builders.
I'll make that motion. Are you writing that down?
Yeah, but can I have the dollar amounts to add to this? Please. Are they in there?
Yeah,
In
they
his-
should,
No,
I think,
you-
I can get you the exact numbers, I think it's
Okay.
around 3.5 is the.
Okay, I just have to have them
I'll
put
get
in
the
it.
exact dollar values, and the electrical was 293,000.
Okay.
Okay, I'll make that motion to approve the pending
Completion of the
completion of the process for the
The
supplemental
Supplemental bond.
supplemental bond
bond.
resolution.
I'll second it.
So motion been made by trustee Fulmer, second by trustee DeRigo, to approve and award the contract to SNL Electric for the electrical DC building systems for the construction pending the outcome of the supplemental
Supplemental bond
resolution.
resolution.
Roll call, please. Trustee Fulmer?
Yes.
Trustee Strong?
Yes.
Mayor Jarvis?
Yes.
Trustee DeRigo?
Yes.
Trustee Demo, sorry.
Yes.
So then once, just in general terms of schedule, once it's awarded, we'll send out a letter on the village's behalf asking for bonds and insurances. And then we'll rely on Jim to review those, and we will also do a preliminary review. And, once those are accepted, contracts can be executed, and a pre-construction meeting can be scheduled. So after the award, it'll probably take approximately 30 days before a construction meeting can be scheduled and planned. So yeah, July timeframe.
Yep.
Is there a project manager for this job like we had when we did the Church Street water project?
Yes,
Yes.
there'll be a project rep on site during
Thank you.
construction.
Good.
And I don't know if, I just had a couple of other updates, I don't know if you wanna do it under old business, or
Sure.
Sure.
is that okay? I
You
just,
got the floor.
okay, thanks, Mayor. You already mentioned the 3 million, I wasn't here at the last meeting, I don't know if that was brought up, but, village was awarded the $3 million for the WIA grant. We are also in the process of applying for USDA rural development funding for both projects. So that's in the works, we also the village received in March a letter, and I'm not sure if this was ever discussed, that the village would be eligible for 0% financing. And this was from EFC for the clean water, the wastewater project.
do you know anything about that, Molly?
Yeah.
So that, I don't know, I just had the one copy, but. So that's for the clean water. I would anticipate the drinking water project would also qualify for 0%.
Just one without the other guy.
Do you have a copy of that, Molly?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
The new budget with the state, they put 500 million into water and sewer infrastructure. And I talked with somebody in Walzik's office today, and that's being handled through EFC. So there's supposed to be a way to apply for some of this money, and it's separate from the WIA, according to the office.
Good, yeah. So I haven't heard anything. Is that through the federal infrastructure bill?
No, this is through
Or
New York
just
State,
Okay,
because they gave the 600 million to City of Buffalo for the new Buffalo, Bills Stadium, and then they added, like you say, 500 million throughout the state for water and sewer. So it's like, where do you get this money? So I called them, I've been hounding, how do we get some of this money? I mean, you put it in the budget, how did we get it? So that's what they said, the EFC.
yeah, when there was a lot of, and we're waiting on the federal money too, to see where that may come through. Back in 08, 09, when they had some federal funding during the, poor economy years, they had money come through rural development, which is a federal program. And they had some come through on the ESC program. So we've been waiting to see where that might show up, and so far we haven't seen the programs yet.
Okay, you'll check with EFC, like he said, they said it would come through EFC?
Yeah,
You'll
yeah,
see
we'll
what-
check with ESC to see when that program is coming out.
Okay.
Did they say it was part of the CFA program, Steve, or was it?
Didn't say. She's new in the office, so she's not really sure on some of the things.
Sure. So your WIA funding is through ESC, so I can reach out to the contact you have for that program, see if there's anything new.
Okay, thank you.
Sure.
Was this the one I was asking you about the other day? I had received the two of them, no, that was the clean water. That was the difference
That was-
between the clean water and the,
That was the clean water, and
Okay.
actually Jeff Smith had a suggestion we should probably discuss. He suggested accepting that now, that offer,
okay,
that the village accept and not say, I think the other option was to wait until
right,
a grant was awarded.
yeah,
And he suggested not checking that option.
okay. I'll bug you.
We'll have to we should have a call with Jeff,
Yes.
where he can explain that to us,
Yeah.
what that
That's
means.
the, when I sent him the correspondence asking,
Yes,
okay,
yeah,
This
he
is for
copied
the
me
water
that.
plant?
That was for the clean water, the
Clean-
wastewater.
yeah,
Oh, the wastewater.
yeah.
Okay.
And
Yeah,
I,
Judy, we should have probably a call with Jeff and
yeah,
Molly.
because I sent information asking them their
That's what
opinion,
we looked at last
Yeah.
week.
and I asking
How
their
to
opinion on
respond.
how to
Okay.
respond and what to do with that, so we make the right move, so
Okay,
I did reach out, okay?
Yeah, this week I've got time, so if we wanna have
Yep.
a call with him,
Yeah.
have him explain.
Maybe Thursday, or Friday. Friday's my best day of the week for everyone, sorry. It's kind of like a little floor.
And if you want, I can coordinate with Jeff even. if you
Perfect,
want
thank you.
to Set that up,
Just let me know,
okay,
tell me when.
I'll call you.
I'm around all week.
Okay.
Cool.
Yeah, that's all I have on the programs right now. More to come on the rural development.
There's money out there, we need as much of it as we can get.
Definitely.
Turn down a penny. Thanks, Gregor. Number 2 is the sign code, we talked about that. We're meeting in the third Wednesday. When they get done, they'll give us a call, we'll set up a workshop with them. And we might have to have a special meeting so that we can present it and go from there.
Do you wanna table that then?
Yes, we need to table that.
And if I may, Mayor, just
quick reference, so with your sign, the moratorium, the 6-month moratorium was extended by 4 months by the board. That's effective until I think it's July 22nd, unless the board by resolution shortens it. So everything right now is still held in abeyance until you get some new provisions on the book, okay?
Okay.
Yep, we're hoping we can get this done in June.
And from what I'm understanding, it's gonna be kind of a two-prong attack. One would be the substance as far as what new provisions you'd have, and then potentially number 2 would be who administers and enforces it. Your current sign issues come to the village board for discussion and administration. I'm hearing that you're thinking you might be sending this over to the planning board, so.
Yes, it'll be going to the planning board.
Okay.
Number 3, sump pumps, local law enforcement. Make a motion to table that one.
I'll make a motion to table that.
Second.
Moved by trustee Fulmer, second by trustee Tirico. All in favor?
Aye.
Need to go back to the sign code to table that, make a motion.
I'll make a motion, we table sign codes.
I'll second.
Motion by trustee Tirico, second by trustee Fulmer, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Number 4, we need to hire a few workers. Hired Garrett Semino as golf course laborer at $15 per hour. Cody Escudero as a part-time laborer at the DPW for $16.72. George Bruce, park attendant, $13.20 an hour. Dock attendants, Richard Cullen. John Beers, Timothy Morris, John Morris, Craig Bentley at $13.20 per hour.
I'll make a motion, we hire some people for.
I'll second.
Motion by trustee Tirico, second by trustee Fulmer.
I have a question. If we're doing this and we know we only have 2 lifeguards, should we approve them now in case we need them to start before the end of May?
Mm-hmm.
It would be, approved to hire, Susie Irk and Marina Simon. Marina would be $15.25 an hour.
No, not Marina, she's not coming back.
Not Marina, I'm sorry, Dominic Pitt, $15.25 an hour, and Susie Irk at $15.50, correct?
Mm-hmm.
So I'd like to make a motion to hire them for the summer.
Yeah. Did we hire last month, your other park attendant? Did we? Do you wanna do that now? Okay, sorry,
So we got a
Think
motion.
about it. Another,
Okay.
Braden
Fair.
Trayer, park. At $13.20.
And so we're adding Braden Trayer to
Yeah.
all of this also.
Yep,
And Susie
$13.20.
Irk and Dominic Pitt.
Yep.
I made the
Motion
motion.
by trustee Fulmer,
Yeah, you why don't we just put it all together instead of making 2 motions here?
Yeah, just,
I'll put it all together.
Yeah.
I make
add
a
it
motion to
together.
hire all the summer people that we added on here and the ones we
Okay.
had on there before.
I'll second.
second
Okay.
group, it's
Yeah.
trustee Tirico, second by trustee Fulmer, all in favor,
Aye.
opposed.
Okay,
So we're all hired,
yeah,
almost.
we got them all, man.
Almost.
can I read back a minute? Sorry.
Okay. Alexandria Bay, new business, LFA Rotary, small fry. From Rotary International, gentlemen and ladies, Rotary Club respectfully request for use of the Upper Village Dock, 8 to noon, Saturday, June 18th, 2022, for our small fry fishing derby. Consideration this matter is great appreciated. Pat Snyder, chairperson. That is,
Dock's open, everything's open.
Everything's good, we're good
Yeah.
to go?
What time did that say, Mayor?
8 to noon.
to do.
8 to noon, yep, you're all set.
Okay, I make a motion, we give them permission to use their dock.
I'll second it.
Trustee DeRio, second by trustee Stroud, all in favor,
Aye.
opposed? I've been down there several times for that, and it's to see these kids, it's just amazing. It's a great day for the, not only for the kids, but the grandparents too, most of them.
Always fun.
Number 2 is to hire Lucas Carroll, it's water sewer trainee as of June 1st, 2022, at $20.40 per hour.
I will make that motion to hire, and just, Lucas is gonna be water sewer trainee,
Yes.
starting June 1st, and he is gonna be reporting directly to Pat. So,
It's gonna be between Pat and Kevin.
and Kevin, so no conflict or anything like that.
Yep.
Working in one of, or two, you know, both of those buildings as
Unless it
needed.
really gets out of hand. Motion by trustee Fulmer,
I second it.
second by trustee Dorito, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Water leak at Matthew Kearns. To my concern, I've had 2 water leaks, one in my boiler, one in my domestic hot water heater, that have gone for several months. Employee of the village has confirmed this. I'm asking for some relief on my water or sewer bill. Matt Kearns. Obviously, it's not the water, but we do adjust the sewer.
Sewer. I'll make a motion to.
And
Sorry.
it changes the new bill from 204 to 184.
And that's an average of the last 4 months of use of sewer.
Yep.
And then we deducted it back off his bill. They both were witnessed by Kevin and Pat. Were you there too? You weren't there, were you, for him? Okay.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second it.
Motion by trustee Fulmer, second by trustee Strauss to make the adjustment. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Second one is trustee Fulmer's, is she had a water leak at apartment building, and she used 100,000 gallons of water. So she falls into the same category of adjustment on the sewer bill, correct?
Correct, and I gave it to Molly. We had 100,000 gallons this reading. We normally in that building use about 11,000 gallons a quarter. So Molly figured it all out. Do you have the number?
I
Yep.
put it on there, yeah.
Okay, so I'm asking for, relief from the sewer charges.
It's
And-
minus of $242.30.
I'll make a motion that we amend the bill.
I'll second it.
Motion by trustee Strauss, second by
I'll
trustee
tell you,
Fulmer.
First time, that's your first one.
Yeah, there you go.
Alright, you
Got it
There you
under your
go.
belt.
you picked up on it
There
after
you
a
go.
while.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? And
I recuse myself from voting.
Fulmer abstained. Recuse.
Thank you.
Number 5 is the Alexandria Bay Community Improvement Association. We met last night. We've been meeting throughout the winter. There used to be, years ago, a community group to make improvements in the village, beautifications, cleanup, so forth. Wednesday, they're having a fundraiser at the steakhouse to raise money. They want to, we have 26 pots that were down to Putnam's that are clean. We have 5 wooden pots on Casino Island. We have 450 plants that are being given to us or grown up at the Cape Vincent Correctional Facilities Horticulture. Yes, I did speak with Superintendent O'Meara.
So did I.
We have flags coming for poles. We need to get a hold of National Grid just to make sure that it's okay to put them on like we do our flags. So we have, the town has authorized to give them, or voted to give them $5,000 They have 2,000. June first, in our budget, we allocated 1,000. And they, right now, have a budget set of 5,000. So right now, they have the money to take it and put the flags up and put the flowers in.
And also the dirt or potting soil is
The-
being
the-
donated.
The potting soil is being donated, yes. Initially talked of buying it, but they do have a farmer that's gonna donate.
And a local business person,
Pardon me?
and a local business person.
Yes. So, it's a motion to approve, I'm sorry, Saturday also, they're doing a cleanup downtown, and they're doing a village-wide cleanup. Now, it has been brought as to, should they have liability insurance or so forth, but it's no different than any visitor walking along and picking trash up, putting it into a receptacle. Something happens, it's not the fault of the village.
Mr. Mayor, I asked Mr. Burrows, we don't have to make a motion on any of this. This is just a group doing this, am I correct on that?
Yeah, we communicated via email, but there's no problems implicated by the scenario that's been described. You
Just
can
an
certainly
informational.
You can certainly support it, but it doesn't require any formal action by the
Okay.
village board.
Thank you.
Right, number 6, Hearts for Youth Community Garden.
I secured a $500 grant from, let me get the name right, the Youth Alliance of Jefferson County, which is a educational division of the Alcohol and Substance Abuse Council of Jefferson County. So you can, over here, where the beds are and the pots are, I guess Mr. Green went over, unless your guys cleaned them out.
We had utilized the workers from the corrections facility, we had 2 gentlemen that came over.
Okay.
And we just had
Yesterday?
them go over and clean and
Nice,
clean them
okay,
up, so
all right.
it was a good use for them.
Yeah, that was a good idea. So what I have to do is we've spent money on, the fabric to lay in between, but I don't know if those pots we tried to move one today, 3 of us.
They're heavy.
They're 3 of us couldn't move it, so, what the company wanted to do is put them in between the raised beds. So I'll get the fabric laid down and maybe they can move them,
Absolutely,
because we don't wanna kill ourselves.
absolutely.
So the rest of the money's gonna be spent at Creams, to get some flowers and the vegetables. And then what we're doing is planning on giving them to the food pantry and also to the residents of Gordon Court. And then also anybody who wants to go over and pick whatever they want, because 2 years ago when we did this, there were so many vegetables over there. We were just giving them to whoever was around.
Good idea.
The one idea, who owns that property over there? Is that village?
This strip here,
Yeah,
I believe that's village property,
I
where
believe
that
it
mess
is.
are. We mow it.
yeah.
They've used it for a couple of years with the garden.
That's why we thought if we moved those pots, it'd be easier to
It
mow.
would. Absolutely.
The other issue is the deer. And last time we did it, a fence was there. I don't know if you guys put that fence around, because nobody
No.
can find the fence. Because it was like an orange snow fence.
We have
So-
no snow fence.
So I don't know, but what we might be interested, over at Tilt on their community garden, they have a, fence, a permanent fence all the way around with a door you can walk into. And I don't know how we would get that funded, but that's an idea. I've gone over there and looked at it, so I just don't know how, I've gotta ask Hearts for Youth, we meet next week, if they wanna consider putting some kind of fence in there. Because the deer and whatever animal goes over there and just robs the place. So we need something.
Well, they gotta eat too, you know.
Well, I know, yeah, I know. So that's what's going on over there, so when you see the plants and the flowers going in, That's what's happening. We have, 2 master gardeners that are gonna help us with it. So that's kinda cool.
I have one more, please. Oh, I'm sorry, did I interrupt? Are you,
No,
is that how you got done?
I'm done.
Okay, sorry.
Proceed.
Number 7, June 1st, we would like to hire Tim Trayer as working foreman. With civil service, we've been back and forth with civil service. To be an MEO part-time and then to be a, there's no such title anymore as a golf course recreation supervisor. So if Tim Trayer was hired as a working foreman, it would cover all of the positions, that position and his position at, the DPW. And they're the same, the wage is the same for both positions. So that's what Jarrett and I and social, personnel in Watertown are asking for.
Is that replacing Brewster?
No, what it would do is, because we are gonna hire him as recreation supervisor, there is no, in human resources, there is no title. The title is actually working foreman.
Okay.
But the working foreman, and the title describes taking care of greens, cutting greens. It's, when we look at it, and actually Bruce Millett was hired as a working foreman. That was his title. It was never golf course maintenance, it was never recreation supervisor, it was literally working foreman.
So when you replace Brewster, what will that position be called?
Brewster was replaced with
Right, I
Dan
know.
Hasner.
Okay, so that's official,
That's
okay,
that
Yeah.
one, yeah.
okay.
So, but there's, what we're saying is there's no position that we can fill
I
other than
understand.
just working foreman.
Okay.
Same pay as what he was gonna get.
It's basically just a title change.
Yeah,
Correct.
Yeah.
just to make him happy.
I'll make a motion, we hire Tim Trayer June 1st as a working foreman.
I'll second.
Motion by trustee Strauss, second by trustee Fulmer, hire Tim Trayer as working foreman, effective 6/1/2022. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Did these guys get a chance to look at that?
Number 8? What's that, Jared?
The easement for County Route 1? Did everybody get that in their mailboxes?
Yeah.
I
Yes.
got it.
Yep.
Yep.
We talked about it, yes.
Okay.
So, you wanna explain it?
So the county came to me, Jim Peters and, the engineer, what they want to do on County Route 1 between the Nelson property and Bud Thomas's, and then Thousand Island Lumber Company, which is Jim Donigan's property, there's a 25-foot right-of-way that they own on both sides. What they want to do is, because as you can see, the guardrails are flopped over, there's
Yep.
nothing to hold them. So what they're looking for is a right-of-way to go in. They want to extend it to a 75-foot right-of-way, so add 50 more feet on both sides, which we only have on one. They're asking either for it to be a permanent easement to extend it down the village property, and all it's gonna be is an extension of the sluice pipe, and the slope is gonna go from where it is out 75 feet. We can either do a permanent one, or when they get done with the work, it goes back to the 25-foot that it was. They gave us 2 contracts, whatever the village decides that they would like to go with, but they wanna make that road safer, they're gonna resurface it and make it wider, is what they wanna do. So, and all they said was they're gonna cut the trees down and just make it a nice slope, put some grass seed on it, so it looks decent in there.
As the village attorney, what would you suggest we do?
I wasn't aware of the
Oh.
situation, but I mean, to be candid, the easiest and the safest from the village perspective is to provide what's known as a temporary easement.
And so there's a temporary contract and a permanent.
And so what the temporary does is you're extending that authority,
Yep.
whatever, how it's described for a period of time, once the work is completed, it reverts back. That's the easiest from the village perspective. I don't know if that's what the desire would be of the village
Yeah.
board.
That's what I thought too.
Yeah, and that's why I told the gentleman that if there was a way, and I said, draw the contract on both ways, and I gave everybody one to read.
I read it, I'm okay with temporary easement.
Okay, so we need to make a motion and we do give him
Yeah,
a temporary easement on this project?
yeah, I've not seen the paperwork, but that's
Yeah,
what I would
right.
be suggesting, yes.
Make a motion, we give the county, right?
Yes, sir.
County
Yep.
temporary easement
Yep.
to, do the work on County Route 1.
I'll second that.
How's that?
Yes. They're moving pretty quick on it, by the sound of things.
Motion by
Somebody
trustee
waited a
DeRigo,
little
second
too
by
long.
trustee Fulmer to make it a temporary easement for County Route 1. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
And then from the county.
That's
They gotta
Steve,
be here
you gotta
tomorrow?
sign some paper, does he have to sign paperwork, I see here?
Yes,
Yes.
Mayor Jarvis would be required to sign the temporary easement,
Okay.
and would need to be acknowledged, I assume, by.
You didn't get any, just in your, you get one in your mailbox?
You can have mine.
Yeah, let me know. That we can take care of
That'd be
this.
important enough.
I know. Do we have a number 9 on new business? Public concern.
Okay, here, moving right along.
Yep. We're doing good. It's only 25 minutes, or, 55 minutes. Anything, public concern?
Okay,
Need a motion to go to executive for litigation?
I make a motion, we go to executive litigations.
I'll second.
Motion by trustee DeRigo, second by trustee Fulmer, all in favor?
Aye.
Thanks. Okay,
See you, Sandy.
take care.
Yes. Thank you.